cook better than Tasha. Not only that, recipe seasoned and made from scratch. Sprinkle a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Leave you stuck with the idol chef, that's a fact. No fiction, Tasha gets down in the kitchen. From the baked ziti to the teriyaki chicken. Finger lick a kickin', so tasty. Tune in every week, show you how to chef, baby. Show you how to chef, baby. Tashi.
Show me how to chef, little mama. Show me how to chef, pretty lady. Show me how to chef, Chef Tasha. Show me how to chef, baby. Spoons up now, wait.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Show You How to Chef. Now, last time I showed you how to make my famous baked ziti, and this week I'm going to show you how to make a sauteed salmon with cucumber and a sauteed spinach to go with it.
Here's what you'll need: 1 pound of salmon, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 shallot, 1 cucumber, 1.5 cups of creme fraiche, 4 tablespoons of white wine, 2 tablespoons of fresh chives, 2 tomatoes, salt and pepper, spinach, garlic, and olive oil.
Now first we're going to start cutting our cucumber and our tomato. Here I have some ready. I have our cucumber and our tomato. Both are seeded and cut, and we have diced tomatoes and then thin strips of cucumber. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the cucumber. Cut each end off. I have my little trash bowl right here. I'm going to cut that in half. And now we're just going to scrape the seeds out with the spoon. Okay, now that we have that seeded, we're going to go ahead and start cutting it into thin strips. Just get them as thin as you can. Don't have to be perfect. Please watch your fingers. Okay, now onto the tomato. We're pretty much going to do the same thing. Cut each half. Cut that in half. And now we're going to go ahead and take the seeds out of this tomato as well with our spoon. Get all those seeds out. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the shallots. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like cutting onions, and I haven't found any kind of methods or remedies to stop me from trying, but I am so sensitive to onions. Now shallots are a little less strong as the regular onions, so I like to use these, and they have a really nice color to them. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Okay, so here I'm putting some butter in a pan to go ahead and start browning our salmon. Right here I have some salmon that I cut up. It's been peeled. It's fresh salmon. Saute it for about, I'll say about 1 minute on each side, because we're going to let it cook some more once we put the rest of the ingredients in. We're just browning it right now. Putting about a tablespoon of garlic in right now. And those shallots that we cut up, I'm just going to saute those together to bring out the flavors, like you guys got in my tips on the last episode. So here I'm getting a tablespoon of garlic. If you guys haven't noticed by now, I am in love with garlic so much. Saute these a little bit just to bring out those flavors. Okay, now I lowered my heat a little bit down to like medium to low heat. And I'm going to add my cucumber now and just kind of saute that with the onion and the garlic. Cook those cucumbers a little bit. You know what? I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit more to medium heat. Now I'm going to add my tomato, and I'm going to use just half of this tomato because the other half I'm going to use it for my sauteed spinach. I just love all these colors. Now if you don't like any tomato or cucumber or any of this stuff, you don't have to use it. You can replace it with zucchini if you want, with broccoli, with asparagus. Just kind of make your own little creation, and this is actually a really easy dish. Okay, now I'm turning my heat back down to low because we're going to start adding our liquids to this. Now here I'm going to add about 3 cups of creme fraiche. Now this is just buttermilk and heavy whipping cream mixed together, and it just makes a nice cream to go with this fish. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in our dry white wine. And tonight I use Sauvignon Blanc. And what people usually use for cooking. Okay, now that we have our wine in, I'm going to go ahead and put all of our fish back in there. We're just going to cook this on low. Let's say for about 10 minutes and just let it all come together. Okay, now that we have all our fish in there, I'm going to season it with some salt. Some white pepper. A little bit of paprika. We don't want to use too much of that. And then we're going to add our chives. Just kind of let all that incorporate. Okay, now that I have all my ingredients in here, I'm going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes on low to medium heat. And now we're going to get started on our sauteed spinach. I'm going to go ahead and oil our pan with some olive oil. Now here I have some tomato, garlic, salt, pepper, and spinach. That is all we need for the sauteed spinach, and it's so easy and so good, and I cannot wait to show you guys how to make it. Remember I told you guys how much I love garlic, right? So of course we're putting more garlic in here, but I'm not going to put as much, just a little bit. Along with our tomato. Just gonna kind of saute that together. Okay, now I'm gonna add our spinach. Now, like a lot of you may know, or you may not know, spinach is really bulky in the beginning, and then it just like shrinks. So you could just kind of pile your pan up as much as you want, because all of that is just going to shrink all the way down. And we're just going to kind of mix all of this together without letting it get all over the place. Okay, now it's going to take probably about 5 minutes for all this to kind of shrink and come together. Now that's all that spinach that I had in here, and all we have is this right here now. So now all there pretty much is to do is season it with some salt and pepper, and that's it. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Show You How to Chef. I really hope you guys like this salmon. It smells amazing right now, and I cannot wait for you guys to try it out. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to CMK Designs. He hooked this up for me, and I just love it so much. He does all kinds of stuff. He does websites, he does business cards, flyers, so whatever you need, hit him up on cmkdesigns.net. I also want to thank Jennifer for requesting the seafood dish for tonight. I hope you like it. I hope you try it out. Let me know how it goes. Anybody else who wants to request anything, you want to see me cook something, go ahead and send it to ShowYouHowToChef@gmail.com, and I'll show you how to make it.